Hey guys, welcome to the backend part of phase 2. We have split the backend part into numerous sections. So in this video we'll be covering the first part. So today we will create a ASP.NET Core project. We will add Swagger to this project. Then we will set up cores. Afterwards we will create a SQL database on Azure. And lastly we will link this database to our project. So let's get started. So let's search for Visual Studio 2019 and let's create a new project. Over in the search field, search for ASP, then select the one that says ASP.NET Core Web Application, then press Next. Over here in the project name, enter the name of your project. I'm gonna call it Canvas API, and I'm just gonna change the location to desktop and in this folder. Okay, then press create. Over here we need to pick the API because we're making API, then click create. This will create a default ASP.NET Core project for us. Sweet. So you should be looking at a similar folder structure to this when you first create a ASP.NET Core project. Now we will add Swagger to this project. To do that, we need to install a Nuget package. So let's see. So this is the package that we need to install. So let's copy that and go back to Visual Studios and go to Tools up at the top. Click on it, then go to Nuget Package Manager and then Packages for Solution. Then go to Browse and search for the package that we need. Then click on the first one, then click on your project and click Install. Press OK, I accept. This will install the package we need for Swagger. So now let's go to startup.cs file and we'll make some changes to this file now. Specifically, we'll be changing configure services and configure method. First of all, we need to add Swagger as a service. So let's do that. Services.add swaggergen, and then we will do a lambda expression, and then options.swaggerdoc, and in here we need to provide it a name. So I'm going to call it v1, and the second parameter would be an instance of open API info. So open API info. Okay, and then I just need to give it a title. Okay, so title, I'm gonna call it Canvas API, and then version number. So version is gonna be v1. And then we just need some semicolons over here. So we just add those. Not there. Over here. And now we need to make use of the service. So over here in the configure method, we will add the service. So we will do app.useSwagger and app.useSwaggerUI. And then we'll again make a lambda expression, and then we will do x.swagger endpoint, and we just need to define the endpoint over here. So that will be /swagger/version1/swagger.json, and then we will pass it the name, which is API, Canvas API for this one, and just some semicolons, and that is it. So let's run our project and see if it's working. No, seems like we have a build error. Okay, let's see. We shouldn't have a build error. Why is that? Okay, expected this. I forgot it over here. That's why. Awesome. Let's run our project again. Hopefully it will work this time. Okay, so it just ran up a browser. So by default, it will always open localhost / weather forecast endpoint. Let's give it a second. Yep. So when you run your project, it will always open this endpoint, but we want to open Swagger when we run our project. So to do that, what we will do is we will go to properties and then we'll click on launchsetting.json. Then over here where it says launch URL weather forecast, we will change this to swagger / index.html. And then over here we'll change that to swagger / index.html as well and save it. Now when we run our project now, it will open localhost / swagger / index.html. So you can see it didn't open weather forecast this time. So let it run. So yep, so this is the Swagger UI you should be looking at the moment. So now let's close it. Now let's see what's next. So now we need to, I think, set up course for our project. Yep, set up course. So what we will do is we'll go back to our project, go to startup.cs, and then now first we need to create a property. So let's make a private property over here. And this is just a string, it's just a read-only string. And then we'll go to configure services. And then over here, we will add a policy over here. So add course, and we'll add a policy to that. So as before, we'll make a lambda expression, options dot add, not that, dot add, options, add policy, and then we'll give it a name. So it will be the field we just created. And the second parameter would be a lambda expression again. So builder, and we will do builder dot with origins, and then we'll pass in localhost in here. Localhost 3000, and then we will do dot allow any header. So it will allow any header when we make a request to this API, and then we will allow any method. So all the methods like get, put, and all of them. Okay, let's put the semicolon in, one over here and one over here. Now when you host your front end, you may want to add your front end URL over here. So for example, if your front end is frontend.com, then you will add it like this. And this would make sure that you wouldn't get errors on your local host and on your hosted URL. So just make sure you add your hosted URL over here. And then we just need to make use of this policy. So what we will do is over here, we will do app.useCourse, and we'll pass in the property that we created before. So yep, that's it. And that's it for course. So now we will create a SQL database on Azure. So let's go to our web browser and search for, let's close these tabs for now, and search for portal.azure.com. You may need to log in into your Azure before you can see the screen. Then under Azure Services, click on SQL Databases. Then click Add over here. Then select your subscription, so just Azure for Students. Then under resource group, if you don't already have a resource, then click create new and just enter the name of the resource over here and click OK. I already have a resource, so I'm just going to use this. Then pick a database name. I'm going to call it MSA DB. MSA DB 1. Okay, that's good. Then create a new server. So click on create new, and then over here enter the server name. I'm just gonna call it random123, and then admin login. So I'm just gonna enter my name, and then pick a password. So let's see. Okay, that's good. Let's confirm password, and then make sure that you remember your password that you enter over here. We will need it later on when we connect our database to the API. And then make sure you change this setting over here. So where it says compute plus storage, we want to change this. So click on configure database, and then we will pick the cheapest possible option available to us. So pick on basic and then press apply. Please make sure that it says basic 2 GB over here. Otherwise, it will eat up your credits and you won't. Yeah, so just make sure it says basic plus 2 GB. Then click create. And then just give it a second. Yep, so it started deploying our SQL database. This usually takes a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, what we will do is we will move on to the next step. So let's go back to our Canvas API project, and let's make a folder over here. So in our solution, right click on it, go to add and create a new folder, and we'll call it models. Then in here, click on it, then again click add, and then click on class over here. Then just change the class name to app database. This will be our database class. Cool. And then we also need to install some Nuget packages. So go up over here, go in tools, then go to package manager, then packages for solution. Then over here we'll search for entity framework. Entity framework. We need to install 3 packages. So first one will be entity framework co. Click install. Okay, I accept. The second one will be SQL server because we are using a SQL database. Click OK, I accept. And the last package we need is entity framework core tools. Press OK, I accept. So those are all the packages that we need. Now let's see if our database has been deployed. No, it's not. Okay, let's keep working on our project then. So it has installed all the Nuget packages that we need. So then we will go to our, probably should zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, cool, that's better. Okay, so then we will edit our app database class over here. First, we will extend this to DB context. We will need to import something over here, which will be the entity framework core. Then we'll create a constructor, public app database, and then we'll pass it DB context options. And inside the angle brackets, we will type app database, which is the name of our class, and then we'll call this options, and then we'll pass these options to the base class. Okay, so that's done. Then I need the deployment now. Okay, so it has been deployed. So let's go to resource now. Then click on Set Server Firewall over here at the top. Then click on it. Then over here we will add a rule. So I'll call this rule Allow All. And then the start IP will be 0.0.0.0 and 255.255.255.255. So what this will do is it will allow all the IP addresses to access this server, so this database server. Then press save and press OK. Now let's go back. Then click on connection string over here. Then copy your connection string. Let's go back to our project. Then go to app setting.json, which is over here. Then we will enter connection strings. So make sure you have an S at the end. So it's a plural. Then we will, let's say, I'm going to call my database SQL database. You can call it something else. And paste in your connection string here. Now we will need to enter our password over here. So if my password was, let's say, pass, then I would enter it like this. Make sure you don't have curly braces around your password. If you, so you just make sure that it's not like this. It's like that. If your password is pass, it's like this. Some of you have issues with this in the phase 1. So just make sure you don't make the same mistakes again. Then we'll save it and go back to our startup.cs file. Then we will add a service over here. So services dot add db context, and then this will be a app database. Then we'll make a lambda expression again, options dot add use SQL server. And then over here we will type in configuration dot get connection string. This will get the connection string from app.json over here that we just entered. So connection string, and then we will pass in SQL database over here, and then some semicolons, and that is it. So let's run our project just to make sure it's all working. This wouldn't really change anything on Swagger UI because we didn't really add any controllers or anything. We just connected our database to our API. So this should be exactly the same as before. So yep, it's working. Everything is fine. So that's it for this video. And in the next video, we will create a database. So cool. See you then.